soon as the wideband warms up, a couple more seconds, I'll go stop it, start it again so we can see our air-fuel air here accurately. We don't have a bunch of skewed data. All right, the wideband has came online. I'm gonna go start my scanner. Let's try this again now, and then we'll evaluate what happens. So we've leaned out our VE table, we've raised our sensitivity global table, and we should see that the timing is gonna be a little bit more towards table timing. We should see the air-fuel be a little bit more accurate and closer to that commanded of 11.4. Let's go try this. Go ahead, stop it, and let's go shut it down real quick and evaluate that pool. Actually, let's take a look at our dynograph before we get into this. Looking at our dynograph, it made 604 and it made 590. Now, it probably needs a lot more timing. You can see it's definitely unsmooth there. Let's evaluate everything and just keep an eye on what's going on here. Okay, so kind of panning back through, if we're looking at our overlay here, we can see that it was definitely rich. If we're looking in the mid-range, it was still showing 9-to-1 air fuel, way too rich. As we get up to the high RPM here, it leans out a little bit, showing 10.8, still rich. So we need to take out more fuel. That's going to be for sure, and especially in the mid-range, it looks like about 3,200 and beyond, we probably have to just roll back some of this fuel in here. So we'll go into the table and we'll do that. Let's take a look at our knock retard, and if we had any knock retard kicking in. Looking through a knock retard, we saw no knock retard. So by going in and raising the global gain, I raised it 40%. That might have been too much, but I know if I'm looking here, 12 degrees is what my base timing's at. I know that that should be pretty good. Now, we do see that our burst knock retard was kicking in. So we may have to disable burst knock retard. We can see that it is kicking in there back and forth under full throttle. Now, I usually don't try to turn it off because it does serve a purpose. In this case, it's definitely going in here. We can see our timing advances all the way down to 6 degrees. That's way too low of timing. So we may have to deal with our burst knock. We may have to disable it right now to get it out of the way so that we can do our full throttle tuning and evaluate everything. So let's take a look at our fuel first. Let's go and deal with that. Let's go here, 3,200, it definitely needs to be leaned out. And looking here, about 130 kPa and higher. So let's jump into airflow, jump into main VE. Let's jump into about 110 right here. And I'm gonna go and just pull out the fuel. Grab the whole table right here, and I'm gonna go here and just take out 10%. And then I'm gonna go and just move across here and just blend this back in. Do a blend, and then I'm also gonna blend it into the table here. We wanna make sure our changes are smooth. We wanna blend everything so it's nice and smooth. It's gonna be transitioning into the richer air fuels. Let's take a look at this in a 3-dimensional. It looks like we might need to adjust a couple things. We can see that we have this torque where it's going to be showing here where the higher torque amount is. We might